Well, I was watching a thing today about finance and just how younger people are treating debt and things like that. And I was thinking about the while I was lamenting my recent fatness and all these other negative thoughts, I was just thinking about all the money that I've made, especially when I was young, and why I spent it the way I did, and never really thought about doing anything with it, just because to me there was never a future, so there was never any point in investing or compound interest or owning assets. So even when I traded stocks and stuff, it was always just like, well, if this doesn't make me something in a month, there really is no value, because I might not be here next month. And it's definitely gotten more like that for me as I've gotten older. Like when I was 18, it was just like a running joke that, like, oh, you're not going to live another year the way that you're going, or you're not going to make it till you're 20, or you're never going to make it till you're 25, or like the idea of you being 30 is ridiculous. And in some ways, my behaviors did change and mature or fluctuate at least. But at no point was there ever like, or maybe small windows of like, oh, what are we going to do in 5 years or something like that. But generally, no. Like, generally, that has just not, there's been no reason to have savings. And when I did, it was just more depressing, because there was no future. And my struggles now sort of relate directly to that, in that why be healthy when I don't want to be here tomorrow? Like when like given the choice of, like, if you could just flip a switch and just it's all over, I would take that today, right now. And so, like, how do you, obviously there's no reason to want to get up in the morning, or want to take care of yourself, or like, why eat healthy when you don't want to be here tomorrow? Why go to the gym? Why do anything? And definitely, as far as like achieving anything with life, or resolving any of these things, like, I increasingly find it hard to make any kind of progress. And like, I have all of these plans that I could act on, and I'm not, because I just can't find like, it's increasingly hard just to get out of bed. But like, I don't even know why I'm still going to the gym every day, but I am. Yeah, so like, I just really sort of related to like all these negative financial choices that people make, because if you have no hope for the future, it does make it hard to want to do anything, or to care about like moving forward. And that's I feel the same way about garbage and pollution and trash and like universal wealth increase, and like this idea, like if you want to save the planet, then bring everybody out of poverty is because the farther ahead you give people an outlook, the more likely they are to care about their surroundings. And so I guess this would be the counter argument, is like, how many people are so depressed that like that even if you did resolve their financial struggles, they would still want to burn it all down. Like, you couldn't really resolve their financial struggles because they would just recreate them with gambling or poor life choices, things like that. And financial resolution doesn't change everyone's outlook, because you still have health issues and other things that people need to take care of, which, I mean, a lot of that does seem to be getting resolved with the GLP-1, whatever, hunger receptor chemicals that are being mass produced and mass consumed. So, I mean, you have health being corrected in a major way, for obesity anyways. And then, yeah, it's an interesting time. But for me, I really don't know what the solution is. I don't. This seems to be a problem for me that manifests in a new way, no matter how I solve the current problem. Like, when I went to work and I had money and I had all these things, then addiction and destructive behaviors and negative outlook and isolation, these things sort of come back in stronger. Whereas now I'm sort of away from all that. Addiction really isn't an issue. Destructive behaviors are pretty minimal outside of eating cookies excessively. But now it's just massive amounts of depression and a narrowing even further of like my future outlook, where like I said, I don't want to be here tomorrow. So it makes it really hard to do anything with anything. Even when I have like very clear paths to something that would move the needle. I did like a financial kind of calculation the other day, and like I would have made enough money on this one thing to sort of cover half a year if I had chose to, and I didn't. And so like that financial avenue is still like available to me, and I'm continually choosing not to do anything with it, when it's the thing that I knew that I could do before. And I'm just not. and yeah, like meaning is really slipping away. And I have had that conversation of like my limiting of an echo, or maximizing my echo chamber of my own thoughts, I guess, and limiting outside input definitely makes this situation much harder for sure. But I just, it's interesting. Because I'm sure it's self-imposed, but I just feel such a weight talking to people of like there's just dread of like this question of like, how are you doing? like that is enough to make me not talk to anyone, because I don't want to tell people that I'm not doing okay anymore, because I don't have an answer for it, and I just don't want to have the conversation about not being okay. And so because of that, I'm just not talking to anybody. And it's crazy. Like I emotionally just feel like I can't handle the weight of that conversation, which is wild. And I'm sure like when it happens, it's not that big of a deal. So like again, this is like an illusion in my head, but it still is. The other part of that is like I'm going to start and end that conversation taking the weight of that on and be no further ahead at the end of the conversation. Like I'm still going to feel just as hopeless. So it's like, why even start? And this sort of circles back to the fact that like I just have no hope for the future. Like I just want it to end. And so why engage in any of these things when everything just seems sort of like futile and pointless? And I have like really considered putting myself like all into some random thing, and I'm sure that it would work, but because literally doing anything is the solution to anything, because like it doesn't really matter if it succeeds or fails. Like you do something, and if it fails, you are forced in another direction. Like so the only thing that doesn't work is doing nothing. So yeah, so I'm still struggling, which like everybody struggles, and I will probably struggle till the day I die, because that is the nature of life. But yeah, the future. You need you need to find a way to want to be here tomorrow and the week after and the week after that. That is the key. Yeah. Anyways, that's all I got for today.